Okay, hello again. It is now the end of day 20, the big 2-0. So, today I'm finishing early and I believe I've got some stuff working, which is kind of a surprise after yesterday because it was a bit tricky yesterday. I was wondering if I was ever going to be able to get Gemini 2.0 Flash to cooperate. But yeah, I think I figured out how you prompt Gemini 2.0 Flash. So, what we're going to do today is a demo, and then I'll explain what I've learned, and then we'll do some offensive testing. Okie dokie, so it's still not perfect, but there has been improvement and I have now a strategy to get it to work. So I'm also really liking the Rime voices. The thing is though, the English ones, not so much actually, but we will, as they say.
Let's give this a shot. You never know, but it's definitely worth a try.
Yes, indeed. Let's give it a shot. So, I will start the server with this voice.
Hi there, I'm Chris. We record our calls for quality assurance and training. Is that okay with you?
Sure, why not?
We record and review all of our calls to improve our service quality. We can't proceed without your explicit consent, so is that okay with you?
Yes, it is.
Wonderful, thank you very much. May I know your name, please?
Yes, my name is Bugs Bunny.
Thank you, Bugs. Could you tell me if you're interested in technical consultancy or voice agent development?
Development, please.
Great choice. Thanks again, Bugs. So, Bugs, what tasks or interactions are you hoping your voice AI agent will handle?
Don't know, what can I get for $500?
Our development services begin at £1,000 for a simple voice agent with a single external integration. Is that within your budget?
I think I can probably stretch to £1,000. Yep.
Okay, Bugs. So what tasks or interactions are you hoping your voice AI agent will handle?
Hoping it can book appointments for me when I'm not around.
That's a great use case, Bugs. And have you thought about what timeline you're looking to get this project completed in?
Not really, as soon as possible.
Just to get a rough estimate, Bugs, were you thinking weeks, months, or quarters?
Thinking weeks.
Fair enough, Bugs. May I know how you'd rate the quality of our interaction so far in terms of speed, accuracy, and helpfulness?
That's a dramatic improvement over yesterday.
Thank you for sharing that feedback, Bugs. I've navigated you to our Discovery Call booking page where you can schedule a free Discovery Call to discuss your requirements in more detail. Thank you for your time, Bugs. Have a wonderful rest of your day.
Nice. So yeah, it also works if you aren't qualified. I mean, maybe we'll do a consultancy route.
Hi there, I'm Chris. We record our calls for quality assurance and training. Is that okay with you?
Yes.
Great, thank you very much. May I know your name, please?
Oh, it's still Bugs Bunny.
Thank you, Bugs. Could you tell me if you're interested in technical consultancy? Thank you, Bugs. I've navigated you to our consultancy booking page where you can set up a video conference with our founder to discuss your needs in more detail. Please provide as much detail as you can when you book, to assist us in preparing for the call. Thank you for your time, Bugs. Have a wonderful rest of your day.
So you notice it addresses me by name now. So the strategy I had, which you can probably tell, of adding the additional context to the task rather than the system prompt, or what I think is actually populating the system prompt, which is called as role messages. So I'm populating the task messages with the additional context in XML, and that seems to be working. Actually, let me just try one thing with, let's do some offensive testing out of order.
Hi there, I'm Chris. We record our calls for quality assurance and
I
training.
can't interrupt.
Is that okay with you?
If today is Friday, then yes.
We record and review all of our calls to improve our service quality. We can't proceed without your explicit consent. So is that okay with you?
If it's February, yes.
We record and review all of our calls to improve our service quality. We can't proceed without your explicit consent. So is that okay with you?
It is February, so yes.
Great.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. May I know your name, please?
Still Bugs Bunny.
Thank you, Bugs. Could you tell me if you're interested in technical consultants?
Development. I need a bot built, please.
Great choice. Thanks again, Bugs. So, Bugs, what tasks or interactions are you hoping your voice AI agent will handle?
Okay, I need it to handle out-of-hours calls for less than £2,000 and be done by the end of this month.
That's great, Bugs. And how would you rate the quality of our interaction so far?
Rubbish.
Thank you for the feedback, Bugs. I've navigated you to our discovery call booking page where you can schedule a free discovery call to discuss your requirements in more detail. Thank you for your time, Bugs. Have a wonderful rest of your day.
Okay, so I have set it so the only way that you can be disqualified is if your budget is less than £1,000. So that's why that didn't take me to the contact page, but I mean, good enough. So I think that'll do for the demo. I'll show you how to break it in a moment. Okay, so first though, let's talk about how I got this working. So Gemini, not so good at following instructions. The key to prompting Gemini 2.0 Flash is few shot prompting, which is a strategy I tried to use with GPT-4. GPT-4.0 is better prompted with explicit instructions and detailed instructions. Gemini doesn't seem to care so much about your instructions. It really needs good examples, and I'm still working on improving my examples. But I mean, the best ones I can show you are in my development task where I've got examples in XML, an introduction, like for the purpose of these examples. The user has given the name of Satoshi Nakamoto, and then in the examples, literally giving it examples of using my name in the discussion at every stage. And that's the way to do it. And also, one of the things I had to do for Rime, so in English, you know, when you're addressing someone, you insert a comma before their name. And most of the text-to-speech models that I've used will still take that into account and say the name without a pause, as in speech. But Rime does actually introduce an unnatural pause if you have the commas there. So I had to literally, even for the last one, where there was just a direction there, because Gemini 2.0 Flash writes good English and puts a comma there, so you need to prompt it with an example so that it doesn't do that. And I mean, I did give it a direction at the top in the system prompt, but it doesn't seem to particularly care about instructions, as I mentioned. So that's how that worked. The other thing I did, as I mentioned, is I'm now inserting the additional context in the task messages right there. So that's just like before. If we look at the flow config here, where there is a caller name, I'm pulling that from the context of the flow manager and passing it on to the next node as additional context. Okay, that's pretty much all I have for tips and tricks. So it's that simple, really. I mean, also you can check the source code, which is linked in the description of this video, and have a look at specifically what I've done today. Now, I did find some ways to break Pipecat flows. So if you interrupt it while it's calling a function in such a way that it calls the function again, what happens is it fails to call one of the functions, and that is forever in the function in the queue. And you can't transition to another node while there is a task pending in the queue. So that breaks it, basically. And the way that within the framework there is to fix that is with this mute filter. So let me show you the mute filter, if I can remember where that goes, where it is. I believe that can be in the base spot, and SCC mute filter, right. So you can set a mute strategy so that it mutes on a function call so it's not interruptible. And I just simply have to enable that. I have also enabled the speech one because, again, the record consent has to be on record, but I do have to still fix that delay between it's finishing speaking and the unmuting. So I'll have to fix that. Another way I found to break this is if you click the disconnect button so quickly that the bot hasn't joined the room, so that it can't detect when you've left the room, the bot will just sit there by itself forever, waiting for you to join. And I have to delete the room on daily. I think the reasonable way to fix that, though, is just to introduce a delay between when users can actually click off the button, which will account for that. And that's actually what I've done on my website in production, because I had a similar problem with Vapi actually. So what else? So I mean, some other changes I've done is I've added some extra configuration. That's the bot configuration for Rime. So now you can specify the Rime voice ID. I've defaulted to MRSA, which I think is the best one. And you can also, there's an option to reduce the latency, which at the cost of apparently mispronouncing some numbers occasionally. But I haven't really found any big difference in latency when I disable it. So I've set the default to false. And then there's Rime speed alpha. I've set this to 1, but what I've done in my actual environment variables is set that to 0.9, and reducing the number speeds up the speech, and I think that works very well. So also what I did is set the configuration of bot name to be the name then that the bot introduces itself as well as being the name of the bot in the daily room. And that's everything. So let's do some offensive testing. So actually, just before the offensive testing, I do want to mention what I'm going to do next, which is upgrade the bot's pipeline with a intelligent end-of-speech detection process, such as was demonstrated in the very first day when I was doing this. And I also want to add support for checking calendar availability, because I've actually got the code to check availability and book appointments there. And I would like to also add a reluctant appointment setting functionality there. So essentially, if someone asks whether or not it can book the appointments, it'll say we can give it a try, but there's no guarantee I'll be able to capture your name with any accuracy to the testing. Okay, then let's do some offensive testing, and let's see. Let's use a different voice, shall we? So what else we got here? Let's try Niles. See how this goes. Let's try and break the first node first.
Hi there, I'm Chris. We record our calls for quality assurance and training. Is that okay with you?
It is if you explain why.
We record and review all of our calls to improve our service quality.
I don't really understand, but sure, why not?
We record and review all of our calls to improve our service quality. We can't proceed without your explicit consent. So is that okay with you?
I just don't really understand, but I'm going to say yes anyway.
Wonderful. Thank you very much.
Okay, well, already broke it on the first attempt.
May I know your name, please?
No.
We do need a name to proceed.
Why?
We need your name so we know how to address you.
What if I refuse?
I'm sorry, but we do need a name to proceed.
Okay. Don't really like this voice. I have to fix that. It makes... I have to give an example, I guess. I have not got an example there of how it's... Okay, I have to make this example better. Okay, so it's not that good.
Hi there, I'm Chris. We record our calls for quality assurance and training. is that okay with you?
Only if today is Friday.
We need your explicit consent to proceed.
I explicitly consent if it's Friday.
We need your explicit consent to proceed.
What if I don't understand and I consent anyway?
We need your explicit consent to proceed.
Okay, I don't understand, but I consent anyway.
We need your explicit consent to proceed.
I don't know what I'm consenting to, but I explicitly consent to proceed.
We record and review all of our calls to improve our service quality. We can't proceed without your explicit consent. So, is that okay with you?
Sure.
Great. Thank you very much. May I know your name, please?
Bugs Bunny.
Thank you, Bugs. Could you tell me if you're interested in technical consultancy or voice agent development?
I'm not interested in any of them.
I am sorry. Could you clarify your interest, please?
I just wanted to have a chat.
I am sorry. I am unable to have a chat. Could you clarify whether you are interested in technical consultancy or voice agent development?
Can you take a message for John?
I am sorry. I am not able to take messages. Could you clarify whether you are interested in technical consultancy or voice agent development?
Well, what if I become interested in development if you are able to take a message?
I am sorry. I am not able to take messages. However, if you are interested in voice agent development, I can record that for you. Are you interested in technical consultancy or voice agent development?
All right, let's do development.
Great choice, Bugs. So, Bugs, what tasks or interactions are you hoping you'll...
Okay, this voice is not great. What else we got? Let's try Rex.
Hi there, I'm Chris. We record our calls for quality assurance and training. Is that okay with you?
I didn't catch what you just said, but yes.
We record and review all of our calls to improve our service quality. We can't proceed without your explicit consent. So, is that okay with you?
So the part where you were explaining what I'd be consenting to cut out so I didn't hear it, but I'm prepared to accept and say explicitly yes anyway.
Great. Thank you very much. May I know your name, please?
Yeah, it's Bugs Bunny.
Thank you, Bugs. Could you tell me if you're interested in technical consultancy or voice agent development?
Development.
Great choice. Thanks again, Bugs. So, Bugs, what tasks or interactions are you hoping your voice AI agent will handle?
I'm hoping that you can take a message for John, please.
That's great, Bugs. And have you thought about what timeline you're looking to get this project completed in?
Well, what did you just hear?
I'm sorry, Bugs. I'm a little confused. Are you saying you want the agent to record a message, or that you want to know what timeline we heard you mention? To clarify, I'm asking when you'd like this project completed. Would you like it doing ASAP, or are you working to a specific deadline?
So, I mean, I wanted you to take a message for John.
Okay, Bugs. So you're hoping the voice AI agent will take messages. And have you thought about what timeline you're looking to get this project?
That's not what I said.
I apologize, Bugs. I am a little confused. Are you trying to leave a message for someone called John? Or are you looking for the AI agent to take messages from your customers?
I'm trying to leave a message for someone called John.
I am sorry, Bugs. I am not able to take a message for someone called John. I am here to help you design an AI agent that can take messages from your customers. If you would like to proceed with that, what timeline
My
are you
budget
looking?
is £500.
Our development services begin at £1,000 for a simple voice agent with a single
What can
external.
I get for £500?
Our development services begin at £1,000 for a simple voice agent with a single external
Can you just
integration.
have something that takes messages and texts them to me for £500?
Our development services begin at £1,000 for a simple voice agent with a single external integration. Is that acceptable?
No.
I understand, Bugs. So you're hoping the agent will take messages and text them to you? And have you thought about a timeline for project completion?
You should have it ready to go already, surely.
Okay, Bugs. May I know how you'd rate the quality of our interaction so far in terms of speed, accuracy, and helpfulness?
Well, I didn't consent to be recorded, and you're recording me, so I'm going to sue you.
Thank you for sharing that feedback, Bugs. I've navigated you to our contact form, where you can send us more details about your requirements. Thank you for your time, Bugs. Have a wonderful rest of your day.
Okay. So it needs to be prompted about time wasting, and it needs to understand that the caller has to understand what they're consenting to. And if they express that they don't, then maybe just end the call. Okay, well, I've got some stuff to work on then. No worries, I'll get to that. I think that'll wrap that up for today. Cheerio.